Talk about the explosive play of some of the freshmen, Derek Keaton, Michael Gordon, those guys.
Yeah, we've got a group of freshmen that we feel really good about. Even some of the guys that you may not have seen yet that may end up redshirting. You know, we like a lot of them. But if you look at Derek Keaton, Rocky Hayes, Michael Gordon, Freddie Knighton, getting guys out there that can really run and can really make some plays with the ball in their hands. So, you know, we're just wanting to get them as much experience as we can because we're going to need a lot of guys making plays down the stretch.
How much of the offense you guys carrying tonight? We noticed early on what you guys have talked about. There's been here a lot of power runs, a lot of kind of quick bubbles, quick things to the flat. Didn't some of you guys went too much in, I guess, in what you might do in terms of
Well, we had a big emphasis on running the football tonight. You know, we wanted to make sure that we executed our run game really well. And I think, you know, early on we sputtered a tad, but we did some good things in the run game. The other thing was after last week, you know, our big goal was to come in and let's just clean up and get good at all the little things. So we were able to be a little more base than we had been at times. But there was also times we opened it up, let Ryan throw it around, and I thought he threw the ball really well.
How important was it to, you know, obviously you guys play action a lot of stuff, and those throws sort of come open as they come open and reads, but just for Ryan's confidence, and I know we've asked all week about the vertical game, just the importance of getting maybe some throws out there and having some completions for his confidence. Right?
I thought it was good. I didn't know. I mean, we were upset, you know, the first drive we missed the third down conversion. That's the only incompletion he threw all night. I knew he was throwing it good after that, but I had no idea. And it was good. It was good to hit, you know, hit Jarbo, hit J.D. McKissick, Julian Jones, whoever else, you know, down the field. You know, because we're going to have the vertical pass game to be able to run the football and hit some big plays down the field to balance out with that. We're going to have to be able to do that. And I thought the ball was coming off Ryan's hands really good tonight.
Coach, it has seemed like, you know, the vertical passing game has been there when you've called it, when you've dialed it up. Is that just something by design? You're just kind of, you know, working this out in the non-conference, and then once you get in the conference, maybe utilize it a little bit more?
Well, that's a big part of what we try to do. I mean, if we're going to run the ball, like I was saying, you know, play action and get some shots down the field, but we've also got to be able to do those, execute the intermediate passing game. You know, we've thrown a lot of quick bubbles and things like that this year. We've hit some big balls down the field. We've got to continue to do that. But we're going to have to convert on the 3rd and 7s, the 3rd and 8s, the 3rd and 4s, you know, in order to win a lot of tough games in our conference. So that's something that we've got to continue to focus on as well. But there's no question that we work a lot on trying to get the ball vertical down the field.
It's been kind of interchangeable pieces so far. You have Taylor's out hurt. You lose Allen. After the second game, you've got two guys up front that are injured. You've had to break in a freshman at center. And I think you guys have said all throughout the non-conference season that it's about assessing and figuring out what this team is now. Well, now it's here, and sort of your initial impressions, you guys get ready to jump off. And you don't get any breaks in the early part of the non-conference game.
No, we don't. But that's why you want to play. We got a big one next week, and we know that. I think they're winning big right now. But you know, the good part is now 4 games in, we know the players well. We know probably what their strengths and weaknesses are. They got a feel for us, so we feel like we can kind of try to play to our guys' strengths, whatever those may be. And you know, yeah, having Taylor out for a while, you know, with a guy like him and Ryan and played together for so long, there's some continuity that you don't just put a guy in there and rep him for 3 weeks and all of a sudden you got it. But we've had some guys step up and maybe get even more action in his absence. That's going to help us when we get Taylor back, and now we're at full strength. We got other guys now. I mean, you look at J.D. McKissick, who we're really pleased with, but he's still only played 4 games. So it's been good for us to have to put more on his shoulders early on, and now he's ready to be a weapon for us.
It's safe to say, David, your workhorse back. I know in camp there were 3 4s on the depth chart, just based on the carries and how you guys have used him in some big situations. He's the lead horse back. And what's that giving you guys now on that side?
Yeah, I mean, David's solid. You know, we feel like there's stability there. We kind of, like we said, we just kind of let them all play. It's kind of worked itself out a little bit like that, but we're going to count on all those guys. You know, I was proud of Sir Gregory tonight. I thought Sir Gregory came in and hadn't got as much action recently. Ran really well. Rod even ran well there at the end. And then you saw Michael Gordon. We wanted to see what he could do. He's been helping a lot on special teams lately, and so if that's the case, he's got to help us. We knew he was going to be special in the future, but we got to get him in there, and you saw in a couple of runs he can really go. He's still just a freshman. But, yeah, David has emerged. He's an older guy. I mean, I know he sat out a year, but he played for several years. He's got some experience, and he's just been really steady for us. But we've said all along we've always had 2, maybe even 3 backs that we got to be able to count on to run the ball as much as we try to, you know, with pace. And so it's good to see those other guys have a good night.
Is that it?